Hi everyone, if you're enjoying the show and have appreciated the tips and experience being shared with you, maybe consider leaving a one-off tip to support production, including the hosting, the booking, the marketing, the recording, the editing, and every other aspect of making a show like this. You can do that by visiting podcastingpeople.uk/support or via the link in the show notes. Thanks for listening.
Hey there, my name is Alice and I'm an assistant editor for Podcast Review and a podcast correspondent for BBC Radio. And today I'm going to give you a tip about getting your show noticed by journalists. I'm a writer and I specialize in writing lists about the best podcasts. I've been doing it for 5 years for Podcast Review, and recently I've also started corresponding on local BBC Radio about my best podcasting tips. I got into podcasting completely by accident. I was a podcast nerd at university. It taught me everything I know about the Enlightenment and literature when I was playing catch up in all of my classes. And then out of the blue, a friend of a friend messaged me and said, "Hey, I heard that you like podcasts and I heard that you write articles. Do you want to get involved with my new podcast review website?" And the rest is history. I've been doing it for 5.5 years now, and I have gone from a freelance writer to staff writer to assistant editor. And I specialize in writing listicles that have merit and critical analysis. I love the accessibility of podcasting. It gives you the opportunity to explore interests that you otherwise wouldn't have time for. Sometimes education can be very expensive and time-consuming, but what podcasting allows you to do is learn and explore your interests in a very low-risk way at any time of day, whether you're cooking the dinner or commuting or whatever. For example, I didn't really know anything about economics, and I found that was really lacking, especially in my analysis of current events. So I started listening to lots and lots of economics podcasts, and that led me into listening to lots of history podcasts and lots of tech podcasts to try and understand some of the topics that were interesting me. My biggest tip as a podcast journalist for getting your show noticed by people like me is to write to us as if we are your next listener. We don't care about industry jargon. We care very little about press releases that only mention industry references and industry information. We want to write something that we can convey your show to our readership, who are your future listeners. So speak to me as if I am a listener. Speak to me as if your show is going to be my next binge listen. Get me interested, get me excited, and get me engaged, and I'm more likely to write about it. Not if you just send me a list of people who are producing your show or a list of celebrity contributors or whatever. It's not going to have the same effect. You can find me at aliceflorenceorr.com, and you can see all of my links in the show notes. Thank you for listening to Podcasting People.
Like the sound of this episode? The Sound Boutique can help with your show too, from fixing problem audio all the way through to producing full shows. Visit thesoundboutique.com today to start a conversation. The link is in the show notes.